So we're going to talk about how to create a database and how to create a table using SQL. It's important to note that you will probably not do it this way in practice, and so don't follow along. How this is done differs dramatically from one database management system to another. And most of the time when you need to create a database or create a table, you won't be using SQL. You will either use the interface that comes with your database management system if you're creating the database and the tables for your own use, or if you're creating them for the purpose of an application that you've acquired, you've downloaded it from the internet or you've purchased it, there's usually scripts that will create the databases and the tables for you in the specific ways that they need to be created in that specific environment. So this is for informational purposes only. You don't need to follow along, but here's, generally speaking, what the SQL looks like for creating a database and for creating a table. A database is created using the create database statement. Create database and the name of the database, and we'll go ahead and run it. So the database has been created. The way SID works, because the web is a context-free environment, we need to load it again so that you can see the database show up here in the list, and there it is. And now we can create a table. Create table is a bit more complex. Now this create table statement is a bit larger than our text box, and that's okay. You can see that it's indented so we know what all relates to what. Let's take a look at the different parts of it. Create table and the name of the table, and then within these parentheses is the definition of the table. It's called the table definition. Each line here is one column, so this is the ID column, the name column, the address column, etc. The ID column is what's called a primary key, and so it says primary key here. The type of the column is integer. Not null means that null values are not allowed in this column. So if somebody inserts a null value, an error will occur. Auto increment is a MySQL specific feature. This particular syntax will not work in other databases, but other database systems will have an equivalent feature. What this does is automatically inserts a value that's the next available integer for this column. So when you insert rows into this table, you don't insert an ID column. The database takes care of that for you and automatically gives you the next incremental value. So the first row will have a 1 in this column, the second row will have a 2, and on and on and on. And that can be used as an ID for linking the tables together with joins, and we'll learn about that in a later lesson. The name column is of type varchar, how I pronounce it. And again, this is another place where this is vendor specific. In different